What's up? Back with another video. Gonna try to stay consistent with this best I can. Right now, I'm in a wonderful time period known as vacation. So I'm taking a break from work and going to the gym. Haven't had a week off from the gym since like last year. That's how hardcore I go. Um, anyways, this topic's gonna be about the mass depopulation plot that this new decade has come upon. We have the pandemic, okay? It was predicted by several psychics. Uh, yes, The Simpsons, you know, even the psychic that was always wrong, Sylvia Brown, and even Dragon Ball, you know, and some stories about a new disease that comes out and, you know, wipes a good amount of the population, and that's what it's done. COVID, you know, that's exactly what it's done. And it's still going on. So that's one depopulating part. That's like phase one. Um, but phase two, I don't know if not many people know this, but um, people are carrying hand sanitizer more than ever because the rise of germophobia has risen, and you know, they're making lots of money with these little pint-sized hand sanitizer that you can keep in one's purse or in your pocket. What a lot of people don't know is I heard this way before COVID happened, before I got into conspiracy theories or before I experienced anything about spirituality. Is those hand sanitizers, they kill the bad germs, but they kill the good germs too. So thus, this makes it hard to reproduce. Um, you know, it's just goes saying somehow they get you. Um, then you have the jabs. I'm trying not to say the V word because I last year I tried to do a video about pharmaceuticals and it got flagged and I couldn't release it. I'm hoping that this doesn't happen in this video. Um, so, you know, there's some people, I actually know someone that got it and started experiencing blood clots and they passed away. So now it's one thing to read about and watch videos on conspiracy theories about this stuff, but now to actually know someone that met their demise because of this, you know, it's a big different story. And all the naysayers that follow the mainstream are going to be blah, 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 you know, because they cannot stand on their own 2 feet and not go along with what the mainstream says. You know, the ones that got the jab immediately as soon as it came out, you know, because they were fear stricken, and what way to control people is through the fear, through emotions. That's what this has done, big time. To the point where others, people that are spiritual, claim to be, they rush to get the jab, and you know, you don't need that stuff. You take care of your body, you eat your fruits and vegetables, you know, You provide your body to them with the proper nutrients. You don't need that. That's the real um, you know proper diet and nutrition will take you a much longer way than being pilled up. But this video is not going to be very popular with a certain crowd of people, and most of my subscribers know me in person. But the rise of LBQT community, and this is not a attack on them. LBQT is Illuminati. You have to have friends that are spiritual and they're also LBQT. But they admit, yeah, it is. It's mainstream, and when something comes mainstream, it starts to lose its integrity. Um, and how's it losing integrity? Well, why is it that when you go to pride events, I'm an ally. I go to pride events because, and this covers, if you're asking why do I go to pride events, to I support um, people being who they want to be, who they are, um, and support the gay community because I'm a big fan of house music. The first '80s band I got into was Culture Club. And the lead singer is Boy George, a gay, a drag queen. So that's why I go to Pride. I feel I need support, and I try to have everyone have fun. I just want to have fun, and want everyone else to have fun as well. And I try to get people to be comfortable being themselves. Um, so that's why I go to Pride is to show my support. But Pride, they now play mainstream music, and they don't play any house music. And I'm not saying it because I don't like mainstream music, and I love house music. But how do you ignore something that was created by the gay community? Okay, and that's this kind of stuff I'm talking about. When stuff gets mainstream, it loses integrity. Look at UFC. Look at UFC before it became mainstream. Look at it now. You know, um, pro wrestling with the same rule. Martial arts. If you are into martial arts, you know, when you become mainstream, you gotta understand you have to. You want to make money. Going mainstream is a way of making money, but when you go mainstream, you now have to appease to an audience to keep the crowd happy in order to keep the money flowing in. So then the integrity goes down. Sometimes it gets so popular that the people that don't know nothing about it get into a certain industry, and then you know they might shun away things that made it what it is. To begin with, that happened. If you guys are wrestling fans that grew up in the '90s, they say that's part of the reason why the league WCW World Championship Wrestling went under. People got into the wrestling business that didn't know nothing about wrestling, and it was just there. They got in because it was big, and you know, and started messing things up. That's one of the downfalls of WCW. So, but here's another way. Now it's very accepting to be gay, and like I said, it's not an attack on gay people, but that's adding to the depopulation of the earth because um, you know you need a male and a female to create a baby, right? You know, so if gay acceptance is rising, and they're really promoting this. Um, It's not just with subliminal messaging through advertisements and stuff. It's also through, I don't know if you guys know this, there's a chemical that's in the water, in our tap water, that um, messes with your hormones. And they have a lot of other chemicals that mess with your hormones. But for water, for example, I forgot the name of the chemical, but um, they they took a test. They took a frog, okay, and it was a male frog, and they put this chemical. They dosed up this frog with this chemical. I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry. You can look it up. Um, and the frog, uh, after 200, what the number was, like 200 milligrams or something, was that male frog turned into a female frog, and they put double the amount of that in our tap water. So, um, that's another way they're doing it. There is a proven conspiracy. If you look up conspiracy theories that were proven to be true, there is actually something called a gay bomb, where it's a bomb where the explosion releases chemicals and it causes someone's brain chemistry to all of a sudden like the same sex. This is a proven conspiracy, right? How much you want to bet they're putting some of those chemicals um, in our food? Okay, the rise of products in your cereal. Okay, um, that lowers a man's testosterone. Stuff that lowers a man's testosterone is everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Okay, the 60-year-olds of the 70s and 80s have more testosterone than a 20-year-old today. That's not good. Okay, and now the women are actually getting stronger, which I'm a big supporter of girl power. A lot of new agers are big supporter of girl power, but um, it's getting to the point where um, if women aren't falling for guys because they're not, women like masculine men, you know, um, straight ones, they like a man that makes them feel like a woman. Okay, when that's decreasing, well, how is there supposed to be any reproduction being done? Okay, there's just so many other examples of this. Um, but these are all plots that they're using to depopulate the earth. Um, might sound counter counterintuitive, but I hate to say this, we do kind of need to depopulate the earth a little bit, because I'm seeing tons of nature being destroyed because they're building new stuff. Instead of just reusing buildings that were abandoned, they're they're continuing to cut down trees, destroying nature. Because they say the population is getting bigger, but still, you know, this is a huge, huge issue. You know, I'm concerned because, you know, my reincarnation. In my reincarnation, I might be a girl. Um, you never know, but you need aspects of, you know, male and female, because this universe is about balance. You need balance. Okay, you need both male and female. Um, so now it's the point where society, again, mainstream, they are attacking masculinity. Now they're calling it toxic masculinity. When a man is actually being a man, you know, through whether it's aggression or being assertive or standing up for what he believes in, they call it toxic. Okay, you even say being free spirited is, not going or being a rebel, not going what the crowd is, they always did that part, but now it's attacking even more, and they're zeroing in on men in particular because, you know, they don't want strong men. They're trying to do away with that. It's like it's not cool anymore. Um, when another country looks at a leader, you know, they see a female, they might not be afraid of that country. It's just a common thing. Um, it's it's just human nature as well. I mean, growing up in school, um, we heard that we're going to have a substitute teacher. Okay, when you saw a female teacher, you know, you're more at ease. When it was a male substitute teacher, you might have behaved a little bit more or hoped that he wasn't mean. It's the same thing. Or with growing with parents, the kids are more afraid of the father. You know, it's the same thing. Um, so, like I said, like I said, I do support gay people. I do support um, girl power, women. Women stepping up, but also we also do that need. We also need that male um, masculinity. We need it to not die down. You know, if we have a world where both could happen, awesome. But the problem is they're letting one rise and the other one drastically fall, and it's a problem. Um, there's someone I work with, you know. Um, it's not all the way his fault. He's definitely a victim of the times where I, personal trainer, offered to train him for free. He was having trouble lifting stuff at work. You know, and he's 21 years old, and instead of saying to his dad, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the gym," he asked his dad, and his dad said he doesn't think it's a good idea. And stuff like that. Um, his whatchamacallit, he had to walk to work or walk home, and the walk from our job to his place is literally 7 minutes, 50 steps tops. Okay, we're shortcuts, and he called an Uber. You know, and it's weird because it's like not weird. It's just an utter sign of weakness because it should be a crime to be that weak. Um, you know, he could have saved himself some money. I don't know the Uber bill. Like we're talking the short distance he walked. The Uber bill was probably like 50 cents. Like it wasn't even a mile away. You know, so society is catering to weakness. Okay, and they're making men into, you know, bitches. You know, there's no other way to put it. You know, it's just it's sad. Um, we do need peace, but sometimes if you want peace, you have to prepare for war. Okay, if men are being men, you know, they say men's supposed to protect the woman. So if there's an attack, you know, the men can't defend his woman, you know, or his family. But there's a problem there. You know, you're not always going to have a gun in your hand. You're not always going to have a knife in your hand and a weapon. Sometimes you gotta learn to fight with this. Um, you know, we wouldn't have Buddhism if, you know, you could be masculine and still be peaceful. You know, there's a meme. You know, um, they have Buddha meditating and one of the Spartans. This is Sparta. You know, so you could be both. You know, you could be both. We need to be both because, you know, or we need a good majority of people to be both because, you most people in my channel or, know about the Illuminati. If you ever want to take them over, defeat them, it's going to be by force. You can't just be, you know, spiritual. Oh, I don't want to fight. You know, what do you think's going to happen if you do that? Uh, they're going to be like, bitch, please. You know, they're going to run us right over. You know, so we actually, we need stuff like that. You know, and then another way of um, depopulation plot is now, again, remember the last video I talked about artificial intelligence? Well, what do you think is going to start happening? They're going to start taking their jobs, and then people are going to start being lazier. We are already a lazy society now. Okay, people don't want to work, right? They don't want to work. They want to sit home. You know, let their bodies go. You let your body go. Testosterone decreases. Okay, all the foods in our, not just that they're messing with the male hormones, but they're making us overweight. So again, you become overweight, testosterone goes down. Another way, I wasn't planning on saying that too. That just popped in my head, and I'm glad I, you know, said that. Normally I finish the video and then I'm like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, I forgot this, but yeah, but that's another way that masculinity is, I'm not going to get into no fap and porn, but there's a reason why porn is free, Um, so, but also going back to artificial intelligence, when we have machines replacing need, replacing man for doing certain tasks, well, now that's going to go, I don't need to do this, I can relax, I can feel comfortable, and too much comfortability is going to bring weakness, you know. That's what's going to happen. We're going to be too reliant. We're already too reliant on technology. Now, what do you think is going to happen when artificial intelligence really starts to kick off? You know, really starts to kick off and get big, you know, um, that's going to be a problem. So, in my other videos, I urge on daring to be different. My earlier videos about being free spirited and dare to be different. Please continue that because we're going to need it. Don't just follow the crowd just because everybody else is doing it. Everyone else is being lazy doesn't mean you got to do it too. Um, yeah, just because guys like me are saying, go to the gym, work out, but doesn't mean you have to too. But the thing is, a certain aspect of survival is in jeopardy. And there are tons of times I'm glad I was the way I am, you know, despite people might complain about, you know, me being a conspiracy. I have the earnest guy I was talking about was just complaining about me being a conspiracy theorist, but I'm glad I am the way I am, you know. Before he started that stuff with me, he said that I was his hero. Okay, for me, becoming his hero, I had to be how I am in terms of being confident to wear speedos. You know, um, I've met tons of people that one time I met uh, three people when I was wearing purple speedos, and they came up to me and was complimenting me on how a tremendous shape I was in, and how confident I was to be a straight man that wears speedos, stuff like that. Um, when I go out places, there's music playing. Nobody is like, there's like the crowd, and there's a lot of places leave a dance floor, okay, and a lot of people just they stay in the crowd dancing. I actually go up into the dance floor and start dancing, and like magic, it inspired other people to get up and start dancing too. Stuff like that, like David Bowie, and he inspired a whole genre of music, new wave, post punk, especially in the UK side. Do not be afraid to be different, okay? Because you inspire other people, and that's what we need. We need a spark of inspiration. We need a spark of creativity. Um, we need this to prosper, to survive, because when it's all said and done, you have, you know, this artificial intelligence and all this other stuff that's um, demasculating society. Um, it's not going to be pretty. And, well, it might feel pretty because they're demasculated, but, um, you know, it might sound a little hypocritical because sometimes the way I dance, um, I dance a little girly, but again, I'm not afraid of doing that, and it inspires other people to do that. If you could be an inspiration to people, you know, figure out a way to channel that and help raise the vibration of the masses. And that's what us, people like me, Indigo Child, Star Child, we're here to raise the vibration of the planet. And this is what we need. But we need that spark of creativity. We need people to be different. So I also urge New Agers to do martial arts. And I'm going to get into that the next video because there's been a wave of disappearing spiritual people. Um, but, anyways, don't be like everybody else. Okay? This rise of demasculating, toxic masculinity talk, masculinity is not toxic. Okay? They're calling it toxic because they're making you ashamed to be tough. They're making you ashamed to be a man. It's making you ashamed to be a fighter. Okay? If you're a new ager, new pagan, spiritual individual. You know about the New World Order. We are freedom fighters. Don't stop fighting. Keep on the good fight. Never give up. I guess that's it. I'll see you later.